WIFTBPM.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard. You'll never breed a warrior.
Warriors, come out to play.
Shh. You hear that?
And that's what's happening at every angle. They're creating paradigms where we can only raise feminine men.
Yes.
Whether they're homosexual or not, they feminine as shit.
Sure, because all masculinity is toxic.
All masculinity is toxic in a war-torn society where the dominant society is saying to your ass, we don't never want no warriors.
Right.
You bastards.
Any book you've ever read, you can read the Bible, goddammit. When they go and they destroy some shit, they kill all the boy babies.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even want you growing up to think you're going to do some shit to me.
Animals do the same thing. If I come over here and I take over this village now or whatever, like this gonna be my pride. First thing I'm doing, killing the male boys, like killing the male babies.
Don't you even grow up with that?
Don't you even think about it.
Okay?
Bitch.
Right. You ain't my daddy, you damn right I ain't your daddy. Fuck your fort, little nigga.
Fuck your fort.
You're not my dad.
That's
like,
oh man, I laugh at this shit in public.
That's real.
I laugh at this stuff in public.
That's real though, right? Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard live on What's In It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
This secure moment is brought to you by Secure Home and Automation, your premier authorized Bring security dealer. Home invasions occur every 23 seconds, fire every 85 seconds, and medical emergencies occur suddenly. In times like these, get secured home and automation and an affordable wireless home alarm system with professional monitoring. This includes fast emergencies response, free security analysis, free equipment, and free installation. A limited time offer, be proactive. Call today, don't delay. 708-251-5069. That's 708-251-5069. Call now, 708-251-5069, or visit our website, securehomeandautomation.com. Secure Home and Automation, where your life safety is our priority. It brings authorized dealers, certain restrictions apply.
WIFTBPM.
Live from What's In It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Warner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Great afternoon to you wonderful people. Welcome to this Friday edition of I Said What I Said. Herb Howard, Toussaint Warner here with you every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the Mays Jackson page, live on YouTube as well. It is an absolute honor and a pleasure to be here with you guys. Thank you all so very, very much for choosing to hang out with us this afternoon. It means the world to us as we go through the conversation. As always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything that you want to add to the conversation, any comments that you may have, feel free to leave them in the comment section. We will read through as many of them as possible as we go through the conversation. Also, if you would not mind, please take a quick moment to share the conversation. Share it on your personal page. Share it even within your personal network. Anyone that you think would either add value to or find value in this particular conversation, we welcome them to be a part of I Said What I Said. It is our true belief that the more like-minded individuals that we have, the better opportunity that we have of reaching the optimum solutions going forward. As all of the IsWiz OGs know, when I say like-minded individuals, I do not mean always in agreement. We disagree here all the time. Me and Tu disagree. Some of us, sometimes we disagree with you all. It's not about always being in agreement. It's about simply being aware that there are some problems in our community and actively engaged in overcoming those problems. So that is what I mean when I say like-minded individuals. Thank y'all so very, very much for being a part of it. Also, if you want to contribute to the show, feel free to do so. You can contribute in a couple of ways now. You can contribute by clicking on the little gold star in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. Or if you want to contribute to the I Say What I Said show, you can Cash App us at $Herb Howard. We're going to keep it very, very simple for you guys. $Herb Howard. If you want to Cash App us, you can do that way as well. But more importantly, we are just grateful for the fact that you have chosen to spend your afternoon here and share a little bit of your time with us. We are more than grateful. Again, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Toussaint Warner 2.
What up, though?
Shine for him, brother. What's happening, man?
Got the gold grill in today. I'm feeling myself.
Hey,
But I
see
can't
that.
talk with it in. I sound like
No, put it back in.
I
I gotta zoom in on you.
I had
Put
to
it back
figure it
in, man. Show the people what time it is, man. Show the people what. Show the people.
full effect.
Okay, come on. Get the whole thing popping.
You ready?
Hey, talk your shit, bro.
Yeah, dig.
You dig?
Yeah, dig. Nah, but
He can't even talk with a man yet.
I can't, man. It's uncomfortable right now, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm all good though, man. I was complaining to you a minute ago about my pain, my hip pain, bro.
Right.
I had to do some walking this morning because of a opportunity I had, man. I had to walk for like a mile, brother. That was so much pain. I got to go get the surgery like ASAP. I've been BSing. But other than that, man, I'm good money out here, man. A few things, man. Tomorrow, my son has his first high school basketball game, G.
Does he?
And I'm kind of geeked, but I'm kind of perturbed.
What time is it?
It's at 4, but it don't matter because can't nobody go.
Oh shit! I was just about to say I was coming.
Yeah, it sucks.
You could tell I was about to say I was coming.
Yeah, I was. That's why I'm perturbed about
Right.
it. It's like it's some asshole shit. Like I was thinking about it, man. I was like, man, I didn't even get to see him play.
Right.
So I'm trying to work it out. I might try to sneak in the building under a different act, but they're not letting parents come in the game.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's a tournament too. It's not an official game. You know what I mean? But I still just wanted to see how he showed up against the competition.
Yeah.
He been looking good in practice the last couple of days. So I was kind of excited about that. Also, tomorrow, man, 436 East 79th Street, we're doing a citywide census push.
Okay.
So from noon to 7, man, if you're available, come out tomorrow to 436 East 79th Street, noon to 7. Come out, fill out your census. You know the census is valuable and important in regards to how we leverage resources.
How funds are
community.
allocated? Absolutely.
Absolutely. So I think it's very important if you have some free time, come out tomorrow. We're gonna be giving away like free food, maybe some chili or something light.
Why the fuck we always got to give away something to get us to do what we need to do? We talking about something that happens once every 10 years, and it is largely responsible for how funding is allocated throughout the country and throughout our communities. We need every single person available to be counted. It ain't really that difficult. It ain't really that much to it. We need everybody to be counted. So whether you do it, somewhere else, whether you've already done it, encourage other people to do it. If you have not done so, by all means, come out tomorrow and make sure that you are counted. It is how we get funds allocated in our community. It's a lot of shit that the government does that you know full well that I'm really not with, right? But this particular thing, I'm with it, right? Make sure you are counted in the census. It is important. It is imperative, right? We already are underfunded. We are already, have a lack of resources in our community. Let's at least do what we can to get what we deserve. Where is it again, too?
It's 436 East 79th Street. It's interesting that you said that, right? Because one of the pushbacks I always have about our community, and shout out to Deanna McCleary earlier.
436, is that at Josephine's?
It is Josephine's,
Okay,
right?
cool.
But I said 436 for a reason. But it's okay. We're going to roll with 436 East 79th Street.
Pardon me.
But listen, getting back to
For knowing the landscape of the South Side?
Right. But getting back to that point you just made, man, earlier, Deanna McCleary had tuned in. Shout out to Deanna, too. That's family. It ain't like family. That is family. But Deanna also owns True Star Magazine, the one that gets circulated through all the high schools or whatever.
Yes, sir.
But, I always... There's this kind of pushback when we talk about voting where I say that, man, we should be voting down ballot instead of, picking the lesser of two evils. And I saw earlier in one of the comments that D was like, how you talking about not going to vote, but then talking about people, operating in the census or applying for the census, like,
Right.
And I was explaining to her that I've never said not to go vote. And I just wanted to make that very clear on air today. Not going to vote has never been the mission that I've had.
No, you've never said that.
Voting down ballot, like specifically, is very important that you go to the polls. And it's very important, at least from my perspective, again, that you go to the polls and don't cast the ballot for presidency, but vote every other position. You know what I mean? That's a political move. But part of that census conversation is it speaks to the lack of maturity that we have around understanding how politics kind of works and how we can leverage it. So because we have this kind of immature view, it's like either or. It's one or, right? It's like either I gotta vote for the lesser two evils, or it's no other way I can operate within the political sphere.
Right, and that's not true.
It's not true. And what I'm trying to explain to us is that we kind of, in a lot of ways, we got to leverage politics as like a extension of our lives. It's not a going to the voting, into the voting booth for 10 minutes, cast your vote for XYZ guy, and then I don't do this again for the next 4 years, or I don't do this again for the next 2 years,
Right.
or whatever the next local election
Right.
is. We got to kind of live in the kind of political manner. Is that important?
Listen, we gotta take our first break of the day. If you just tuned in, this is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Toussaint Warner. We got a great show planned for you guys. We'll give you the rundown on the other side of the break. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTBPM.
This secure moment is brought to you by Secure Home and Automation, your premier authorized Bring security dealer. Home invasions occur every 23 seconds, fire every 85 seconds, and medical emergencies occur suddenly. In times like these, get secured home and automation and an affordable wireless home alarm system with professional monitoring. This includes fast emergencies response, free security analysis, free equipment, and free installation. A limited time offer, be proactive. Call today, don't delay. 708-251-5069. That's 708-251-5069. Call now, 708-251-5069, or visit our website, securehomeandautomation.com. Secure Home and Automation, where your life safety is our priority. It brings authorized dealers, certain restrictions apply.
Is it really a good idea to have the same senator for 3 generations? I support term limit for all elected officials. Our senators need to bring home growth for our business community, jobs, housing, service for our senior citizens, and healthcare. We need new ideas and new approach to federal representation. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington, D.C. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
Hang out with Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz 3 to 6 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media, live on the Mays Jackson page. So shout out to Chicago famous. They did their thing. They did a phenomenal job. Those brothers, listen, radio legends, right? And you come in and you used to doing things one way and trying to flip it and do another way. They handled it seamlessly, man. So shout out to Mike Love and Diz for holding it down as they always have done. Welcome to the What's in It for the Black People Media family. Good luck at achieving number 2 status for the second best show on What's in It for the Black People Media, because number 1 is and always will be I Said What I Said.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Whenever I play, I want to play to win. I don't see no purpose in playing.
You play to win the game.
What's the word?
In the famous
Can
words
you
of
beat
Herm
my ass though?
Can you whoop my ass though?
It's really that simple. I don't plan on getting my ass whooped.
Hey, yo, wait a minute. Hey.
Chicago famous nigga whoop my ass.
And Chicago
we
famous
not here for no ass whoop.
Hey, what's your problem, man? Y'all are brothers. You ain't supposed to be fighting each other.
We not here for no ass whoop.
That's not what we here for.
We're not here for no ass whoop.
It's not what we here for.
Not at all.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Toussaint Warner and Herb Howard, live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
When you need vibrant, colorful gear that offers high-performance material that keeps you cool, call Agent Huff Custom Gear. Let us take your expressions and create something new for your everyday wear, your bedroom, or bath. For all your needs, we offer custom sublimation, silkscreen, vinyl, and embroidery. You can reach us on all things social at Superhero Huff. www.superherohuff.com or 630-476-9191.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Hey, what's good? This is Mike Love.
What's going on, y'all? It's the Diz
of Chicago famous.
Come on.
That is the new version of us.
That's right. I mean, I know you all grew up on Bad Boy Radio, but keep in mind, we are now Chicago famous.
And we are here at What's in It for the Black People Media, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Starting September 8th, starting September 8th. Make sure you check us out.
Cootie Simmons, of course. I just knew you as Cootie,
right
from Channel Zero.
I mean, that's how we know him. We just know him as Cootie.
Now let's talk about this joint that you guys recently dropped. You directed the Stephon Marbury documentary, A Kid from Coney Island, that's on Netflix right now.
When they came to us about the project, I was like, Stephon Marbury, I'm thinking Tim Hardaway. I'm like, man, Marcus Liberty. I'm like, Stephon, I
Still Chicago.
don't know New York, I don't know Steph. All right, I'm thinking exactly. I know how to tell a Chicago story. Good, you know.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Is it really a good idea to have the same senator for 3 generations? I support term limit for all elected officials. Our senators need to bring home growth for our business community, jobs, housing, service for our senior citizens, and healthcare. We need new ideas and new approach to federal representation. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington, D.C. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTBPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. My esteemed co-host name is Toussaint Werner, and we are absolutely thrilled to be here with you this afternoon, as we always are every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. We get together right here with you, and we discuss issues that are impacting the black community, how those things are impacting us as individuals, and how they are impacting us as a collective. And along with your help, we talk through many of these issues in hopes of finding the best solutions going forward. So as always, your input is valued. It is certainly appreciated. Anything that you want to add to the conversation, feel free to do so as we go through, and we will try and read as many of them as possible as we go along. We got a pretty good show, man. This is a Friday, which means it is a relationship Friday here on I Said What I Said, and each and every relationship Friday, we get into the aspects.
Always interesting.
It's always interesting. I think that the Izwiz family really likes Relationship Friday because they get to act a little ratchet, right? They get to partake in some buffoonery, if you will. They like to pick on me or whatever, but they like to pick on me. Shout out to Patah, shout out to Adrian for the way they like to pick on me on Relationship Fridays, but it's all good. I love it. But we try and delve deeply into the interactions of black men and women as in terms of relationships, right? What that looks like in the home, what that looks like in a marriage, what it looks like in terms of parenting, co-parenting, whatever that may look like. And today we have a very, very a special guest. We have Love McPherson. She is a very renowned love coach, if you will, right? She talks relationship expert. She's been married herself
really
for some 34, 35.
A relationship expert?
No, only if you're talking about your relationship, right? If you're talking about your own relationship, then yeah,
there's no universal relationship.
No, there's no universal relationship. They're all kind of different in their own right? They all kind of represent themselves, if you will, right? I don't think there's a universal law to relationships. I mean, if you listen to I Said What I Said, you know that I don't share any universal law about relationships. I think it's whatever 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 people make it, right? Like whatever the people that are in the relationship make it out to be, that is what a relationship is. I think you set those rules, you set those parameters, you decide what is acceptable, what is not acceptable, and then you live within those parameters. And so for me, that's my personal understanding of it. Other people have a different understanding of it. And I'm not here to say that theirs is wrong any more than I am receptive to people saying that my way is wrong, right? It's as my 7th and 8th grade teacher, Miss Chavez over at Bryn Mawr on 73rd and Jeffrey used to say, it's more than one way to skin a cat, right? And we try to explore many of those different ways to skin a cat. And so we're going to be talking to Love McPherson. What time is she coming? 1:30 or 2 o'clock?
We should have both of them by 1:30.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Love McPherson coming up at 1:30. We're going to take a break at 1:30, then we'll come back and she will be joining us. And we also have another very special guest, a young lady from Texas.
Yeah, Miss Lamontria Edwards. She's a community activist, thought leader for the next generation. She excels in building strong relationships with youth, community leaders. Yeah.
She wrote that, didn't she?
She wrote that. But outside all that, what's happening next week is there's an organization called Heal America coming to the city, and she's a part of that organization.
Mm-hmm.
And Heal America is bringing forth Mays had some of the people on the show earlier. Heal America is bringing forth some conversations to kind of like mend the gaps in our community, whether it be mending the divide between the violence that kind of takes place in our community, whether it be violence against ourselves, gang violence, or whether it be violence with engaging or involving the police. So they have a whole push. That's why we're going to have My Son and Loom next week too. They're also part of that organization. So this we got a few guests coming from that organization that we're going to be speaking to in different capacities for the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But Lamantria is a young girl, and I don't mean that in no disrespectful manner, but she's younger than both of us. She might be in her early 20s.
Sure.
And I thought it would be important to have her input on the show, because one of the things when I talked to Mama Love about being on the show, she sent me a clip of this conversation the young boys was having. And, it's outside of my purview, but I think that having that conversation with a young girl, specifically a young girl from Texas, because I think that changes the connotation of how we're gonna have this conversation when we have it.
I've been very intentional. I'm gonna challenge you to be intentional about this too. You know what? Never mind. We'll have that conversation later.
Okay. Well, we bring a tradition too, though, right? Because usually when we do Relationship Fridays, one week we'll have the women, we'll have the feminine energy, and then one week we'll have the masculine energy.
Sure.
But for now, it's 2 weeks in a row with
back to back with the ladies
with the feminine energy.
That's right. Because we last week we had Tiff.
The week before that, then we had
Tiff and
No. We didn't have Tiff last week.
That wasn't last week?
Nah, man. Where you at? You been drinking again?
I've been drinking.
No, had your girl, the business owner. I can't think of her name right now. Last week.
Oh, that's right. We had Erica Ford Oliver.
Ford Oliver.
So we 3 weeks in a row with the ladies.
No, because before that we had who do we have before that? We had a brother. I'm trying to think who it was.
Oh, your man's. We had his name is a little different. Marvel.
Oh yeah. Yatu.
We had Yatu.
Yeah, we had Yatu.
So when do we have Tiff?
We had Tiff and them before that.
Oh, that's right, because that was in that studio.
Right.
That was before we even switched sides.
Damn, it's only been 3 weeks and we moved that fast with that studio. I was thinking about that.
Oh, things are happening quickly over here at What's in It for the Black People Media. Things are happening quickly over here at What's in It for the Black People Media. And speaking of that, we got a new family member on the squad.
Yo.
Good brother Ryan Haynes is in the production studio running the boards for us. What's happening, bro?
What's going on, y'all? I'll be one of the new audio engineers over here.
Hey, don't piss Sonya off, all right?
Hey, look, I love Sonya. That's my G.
She my G too, and I love her too. Just don't piss her off, because she's short-tempered, man. Sonya run through engineers like fucking socks.
Yeah, we came from the same little family. I was over there where she was at before we came here.
I'm just talking shit, brother. I'm looking forward to working with you, man. It's an absolute pleasure to have you a part of the family. The family continues to grow. It continues to expand. We continue to add more and more talent to what is happening over here. And truly, that is all because of you all support. That is only because you all seem to think that whatever it is that we're on to is a positive thing. Whatever it is that we're on to is something that can serve our community. And you all continue to allow it to expand. You all continue to share the conversation. You all continue to show up and stay here throughout the day. 12 hours of program. You guys get up at 6 a.m. with Mays for whatever reason, and then y'all come through and y'all stick around with Don, y'all stick around with Salim, or y'all stick around with Mike, y'all come through with us, or y'all come through with the bigs, then y'all stick around for Chicago Famous. Only because of you all does this thing continue to grow. Your support in terms of tuning in first and foremost, but also your support in terms of sharing it with other people, and then also contributing financially to the things that we have going on here. We could not be more grateful. We thank each and every one of you guys for being here. We have to take a break. When we come back, we'll be joined by Love McPherson, and I forgot the young lady's name again. Lamantria from Texas. They'll be joining us both here on the Mays Jackson page, live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Tu. My name is Herb. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTBPM. Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
Is it really a good idea to have the same senator for 3 generations? I support term limit for all elected officials. Our senators need to bring home growth for our business community, jobs, housing, service for our senior citizens, and health care. We need new ideas and new approach to federal representation. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington, D.C. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
You can hang out with Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz 3 to 6 p.m. right here on What's In It for the Black People Media live on the Mays Jackson page. So shout out to Chicago famous. They did their thing. They did a phenomenal job. Those brothers, listen, radio legends, right? And you come in, and you used to doing things one way and trying to flip it and do another way. They handled it seamlessly, man. So shout out to Mike Love and Diz for holding it down as they always have done. Welcome to the What's In It for the Black People Media family. Good luck at achieving number 2 status for the second best show on What's In It for the Black People Media, because number 1 is and always will be I Said What I Said.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Whenever I play, I want to play to win. I don't see no purpose in playing.
You play to win the game.
What's the word?
In the famous
Can
words
you
of
beat
Herman.
my ass, though?
Can you whoop my ass, though?
It's really that simple. I don't plan on getting my ass whooped.
Hey, yo, wait a minute. Hey.
Chicago famous ain't gonna whoop my ass.
And Chicago
we
famous
not here for no ass whoop.
Hey, yo, what's your problem, man? Y'all are brothers. You ain't supposed to be fighting each other.
We not here for no ass whoop.
That's not what we here for.
We're not here for no ass whoop.
It's not what we here for.
Not at all.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Tucson Warner and Herb Howard live on What's In It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
Hey, what's good? This is Mike Love.
Hey, what's up? It's Diz, and if y'all ready to get y'all trip on, we got something for you.
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday on What's In It for the Black People Media.
If you've been a fan of our podcast, Chicago Famous, now you get to see us live Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. We are going to be off the chain.
Make sure you check us out.
Funeral expenses are costly. The Casket Store wants to help you save hundreds of dollars. You do not have to purchase a casket from the funeral home. Call now for a free in-home consultation. Call 773-445-6900. 773-445-6900.
Fun guy. Where's tomorrow? Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's In It for the Black People Media presents
I want to go higher. Oh, my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The Big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday, or you can find them online at solobeauty.com.
WIFTVPN. Live from What's In It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Tucson Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And we are back. We are live from the What's In It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard. His name is Tucson Warner. Thank y'all so much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. It means the absolute world to us. It is a Friday, which means it is a relationship Friday. And if we are going to talk relationships, if we're going to broach the subject of relationships, we're going to talk about love, what it means to be in love, what it means to be in a relationship that is sustainable and allows you to enjoy that relationship for the long term. There's really only one person that you want to be talking to. And we are absolutely thrilled to be joined by that very person at this time. Her name is Love McPherson. She is a relationship coach and expert of the highest order. You've seen her all over the place. Her list of accolades and accomplishments are too many to name, but she's helped many, many people either find love, sustain love, or get rid of fake love, because that matters too.
Chicago's favorite relationship expert.
Chicago's favorite relationship expert, Love McPherson, joins I Said What I Said. Love, how are you?
I am doing marvelous. And
wait a minute, I don't hear you.
Right, we having some issues with the sound. Give us 1 second.
I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
You got it?
I do not have her yet. I can still tell that I don't hear her just yet. Ron, you know why I'm not hearing her? We gotta get her sound in. We can see her beautiful face. She all done up. Got the earrings going, but I do not hear her just yet. We're gonna try to get the sound tapped in. As soon as we get the sound tapped in, we will bring in Love McPherson. We're also joined live from Texas by Miss Lamontria Edwards. She's going to be joining the conversation as well. Both of them are in the virtual green room right now, if you will. We're going to get both of them on the line here in just a second, but we got to work out this sound issue because I can't hear either one of them at this very, very moment. As soon as we get that worked out, we will bring them in. But we're going to get into a conversation about relationships as we always do on Fridays. You guys know that we've broached this topic from every different aspect possible. We've talked about it from the male perspective. We've talked about it from the female perspective. We've heard from women. We've heard from men. We've talked about monogamy. We've talked about non-monogamy. We've talked about every aspect possible of this thing because we truly feel like everything else they want to stack on top of that in terms of, you know, the Black liberation movement and in terms of becoming self-sustainable as a community, we truly feel like everything else is built on top of that. You have to be in a good, solid relationship first, right? You got to have that foundation to build on top of. And so we think it's important to broach the topic of relationships. And so we're trying to get that thing kind of taken care of. And, you know, Tu and I have offered our perspective time and time again on relationships, but we feel like, listen, it's time that we actually bring in some experts. We need to talk to some people who do this on a daily basis, who offer their personal experiences and work with other people to say, hey, here's what that looks like for us. Here's what I've learned. Because really, I really think it's trial and error, right? You kind of go through some shit. You think you know yourself. And then you figure out, well, first of all, I don't even know myself that well, let alone do I know you. And then through that trial and error, you kind of you're trying to arrive in a space where you're like, oh, I think I got a pretty good understanding.
See, I disagree with you, though. I don't think it's trial and error because trial and error assumes that you're learning something, right? Trial and error assumes that you're leveraging something and growing from it. I think we just kind of go into it blindly most times and just go with the flow of things with an expectation, right? A social expectation more times than not. So trial and error is not just necessarily the narrative that I believe in. And I think we take on monikers or whatever the social structure is of the moment and it becomes the truth or our truth per se. Right. One of the things I wanted to broach today in this conversation is that just the other day we had the Breonna Taylor indictment. I don't even want to say indictment. The lack of indictments, the lack of convictions come down.
Sure.
But when you start to understand the full details of that story, you have two brothers that are kind of being villainized. At least one being villainized for sure. The Jamarcus Glover brother, who was the ex-boyfriend, who they villainized as the dope dealer and kind of made him the poster child of why she was in danger in the first place. But when you start to understand the intricacies of that story, he was offered a plea deal. Even though Breonna's dead, the plea deal wouldn't necessarily affect him. It would only help him. Right. And he denied taking the plea deal because he didn't want to tarnish her legacy. Right. And I think in this era where we talk about the lack of protection that black men give, I think both of those men kind of stood up in the proper polarity as men and did what I think any man should have done. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I just think that's a great juxtaposition to the narrative, to the overall narrative of how
black men don't protect black women.
Don't show up for black women.
Even in this case, that is national news right now. It's probably the biggest thing in the country right now for a multitude of reasons. Many of them not having to do with Breonna Taylor, unfortunately, but for a multitude of reasons. This particular case is the main story nationally right now, and you see two examples of black men defending a black woman, showing up for a black woman, right? Whether that's, I take my pistol to the door and I fire on whoever's coming through that door to protect me and mine, or I'm not going to take any type of reduced sentence to, degrade this woman's legacy. Even though she's dead and gone, it's not really causing her any tangible harm, right? But I'm not going to do that. Those are two brothers standing in their proper polarity. But listen, two women standing in their proper polarity are joining us on the live line. We have to work out the sound, ladies, but we got you all loud and clear right now. So let's welcome to the show again, if you will, Love McPherson. She is Chicago's favorite relationship expert. Love, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, great. It's such an honor to be on your platform. I'm excited about today.
We are as excited as you are, if not more so. We are more than grateful for you taking the time. We've seen your work all over the place. We know about the books. We know about the TV appearances, all the countless interviews that you've done, all of the countless people that you've helped in terms, like I said earlier, either find love, sustain love, or get rid of false love, right? All the things
That's
you've been
right.
able to...
Get rid of them.
I'm going to give you some game, though, right? So... Mama Love is in my real village, so I'm going to do my best to not be the regular two-side that curses and stuff, because I'm going to control my mouth a little bit while Mama Love is on the line.
Well, you do what the fuck you need to do.
Don't do that.
I'm just playing Mama Love. Listen.
But Mama Love also does a series of relationship conversations around the country, actually.
Yeah.
And she broached me and asked me to be a part of one, and I was like, Mama Love, I'm not the voice you need to hear. I'm not going to go in here and say nothing of value to none of these people. And I was giving a lot of pushback. But it was a great time.
Listen, I think value in terms of this particular conversation, it's relative, right? Certain people will find values in certain aspects of this conversation, and other people will find it completely, unvaluable, right? They won't find any value in it at all, right? And I think that it just depends on who you're talking to and what the particular subject is. We are also joined by Miss Lamontria A. Edwards. She is joining us live from Texas. Lamontria, how are you?
I'm awesome. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Hello, everyone. It is such an honor to be here with you all. My name is Lamontria Edwards, representing the Urban Specialist Heal America Tour. We will be in Chicago next Wednesday, so look out for us. And it's an honor to be with you all.
Well, when you get down to Chicago, you make sure you chop it up with us. Let us know that you are here in this wonderful, wonderful city. We would love to connect with you while you are here. But we truly, truly appreciate you taking the time to join us this afternoon. Thanks for it.
No, thank you guys. I'm ready.
So let's just jump right into it, right? Because I want to ask Love McPherson, what does it mean to be a relationship expert? When did you know that you were one, and how did you go about becoming one?
I don't know if there's a moment where like a light shines, or you fall on a Damascus road or anything like that, and you're a relationship expert. I think you just keep studying and learning. Sort of like somebody who says that they're a cancer specialist.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a magic moment. It is a title that you take on to help somebody if you know that you have some of the knowledge and skills to help them in their thing. But expert might be pushing it a little bit, right?
No. I said that tongue in cheek. I don't think it's a stretch at all to call you an expert. I think that you are very, very well versed in it, very well experienced. You've studied it from many, many different aspects of it, and I think that you absolutely know what it is that you're talking about.
I'm losing your volume.
Did you? I feel like I lost it too. You got me? Y'all hear me?
You know what? I'm losing you all's volume.
Yeah, we lost it.
Lamontria, can you hear us?
Lamontria, you hear us talking right now? Okay, y'all got us back. I hear it back. I got it back in my headphone now, too. It did lose for a second. Sorry about that. So I think that it's not a stretch at all to call you an expert, right? You've done the work, right? You've put in the time. You've drawn on your own personal experiences and the experiences of others to come to some educated conclusions about it. And so I said that tongue in cheek and saying, what does it take to become an expert? I think you absolutely are. But in terms of, getting people to kind of trust your process and say, listen, here's where you want to go with this thing. Because I think that people kind of have to be at the end of their rope in terms of trying to find their own solutions before they say, let me go find a coach. Let me seek some help with this. What's that process like when people come to you looking for help?
What's the process like? The process of what people come to you. Well, basically, people kind of, unfortunately, because of our culture on getting counseling, people end up coming to me at the end of their rope.
Of course.
And I attribute it a lot of times to being, I'm the tow truck for a lot of relationships sometimes. And that's unfortunate because instead of maintenance and coming and doing weekly maintenance before you get married, during your marriage, or during your relationship, or even at the points of your traumas, what ends up happening is you'll find that people will have their breakdown. It's almost like they're unmanageable, and then they'll come at the very end. So I recommend maintenance of relationships rather than just a tow service.
I agree, right? The best way to do it is to maintain it as opposed to trying to fix it once it's broken, right? Once it's broken, you kind of at a crossroads. Is this thing over? Can we repair it or not? But if you can kind of steadily maintain it, I think that that's the best way to go about it. The problem is that I think that, two people get together, and this is my own personal story, right? Two people get together and everything's great. The attraction is there. The stimulation is there. Everything is on point. And then as you begin to build this life together, so many other things begin to get into the way, right? The careers, the house, children, if that's your story, right? Whatever it may be, these other things start to get into the way of the relationship, and it starts to pull away from those things.
I'm losing your volume again, so I'm not hearing your question. Or I know you're making a statement. You haven't asked a question yet, so
no,
I don't know if it's a way to turn that up. So I'm gonna put on some headsets too to try to help that.
Yeah,
out.
I think it's on your end, Mama Love, because I'm hearing in the chat that you're the one that's the lowest on the chat. So I don't know. Maybe them headphones will work. Lamontre, can you hear us?
I can hear you guys.
Okay. So I guess what I'm just saying is, like, there's a lot of stuff that gets in the way of just the relationship. As you begin to stack things on top of it, how do you keep those things from interrupting the relationship? Just the one-to-one love aspect.
I think that when you start talking about things getting in the way, is stacking. I believe that the stacking actually happens at childhood a lot of times. I think the stacking happens as far as relationships are concerned. Relationships, the success of your relationship will happen in your mind.
Sure.
What you are thinking about, what you are believing, all of those things. And when we began to listen to the messages that are external, messages of our childhood that we're not good enough because somebody else did something to us that created that space in our mind, messages of society that kind of introduce that combat between black men and black women, messages of our adulthood where somebody betrayed us or did something, ghosted us, divorced us, whatever the case may be, even the domestic violence. When we begin to internalize that, those are the things that are the threat to our relationships. Those are the messages, because we begin to create labels on each other, and
Sure.
labels can be an excuse to treat people badly. So really, what you have to do, the first relationship is the relationship with yourself and what you allow yourself to think and meditate on. Because the moment you begin to look at your mate and only have messages of their deficiencies, only have messages of whatever society has said about them, they're not good enough, even if it's internal, even if you look at yourself and have messages of deficiency, then the relationship itself, which is different from love. Love is one thing. Relationship is different. Relationship is how we relate to one another. Relationship is based on skills, communication, conflict. Those are all skills. Love is a decision. But your ability to love unconditionally, the messages will play into you. Your ability to do relationships will be if you get some good, healthy skills.
Well, the doors of the church are open. That's all I need to hear. Labels is fucking everything up.
It's all labels. It's all labels.
I've been trying to tell y'all for a year now that labels are the problem. Everybody needs these labels. But listen, on the Book of Dawn, if you're not hip to the Book of Dawn, you need to tune into the Book of Dawn right here on What's In It for the Black People Media every weekday from 9 to 11 a.m. the Book of Dawn. But they had a conversation about labels yesterday, and I was tuned into the show, and they were talking about labels. And again, everybody who tunes in to I Say What I Said regularly knows my opinions on labels and relationships in general. And so I was giving my perspective on it, and then an overwhelming majority of people who were in the room, mostly women, were like, no, I need my label after 2 weeks. I need a label. After 2 weeks, you need a label? I don't even fucking know you. You know what I'm saying? Like what would the label be, right? And so I think that, people really get into these labels things. So let me throw this to you, Lamontria. How important are labels to you as it relates to relationships?
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, perfect. So for me, I'm not a woman of labels. I'm a woman of virtues. So I'm not looking from my own personal perspective. I'm not looking for a man to give
Hey,
me a
Lamantria,
label.
do you have this playing like on another device where you can hear it?
No, my echoing bad.
Yeah, it's like coming back through, but it's cool. Go ahead.
Okay, maybe if I speak closer, is it better?
Just go ahead. Finish your statement. It's all good.
All right. I can hear the echo too. I'm sorry. Okay, well, I'm going to try. And then if I need to turn my camera back connected to my microphone. But to me, I'm not a woman of labels. I don't believe that I need a man to give me a label in our relationships, because I believe that as long as we understand what the relationship is prior to, I don't need you to tell me what we are, because I mean, as a man, I expect a man to lead. So if you're gonna lead, I'm gonna follow you, but I need you to follow me in a way. I'm gonna follow you in a way of your leadership. And one of our guiding principles at Urban Specialists is spirituality. So I believe that love is exactly what God is. It's patient, it's kind. So in order for us to love each other properly, we have to lead. We gotta lead with God first, because if God is not first, we can't do anything. And that's the part of healing. That's why y'all gotta come to the Heal America tour, man.
Too, that's a point that you make all the time too. You often say that it's a spiritual thing, right? It's on a spiritual level. You agree with what Lamantria said at the end of that piece?
I think life is spiritual. And I don't think most of us operate within the spirit. I think most of us operate in a very transactional space. So these are, first of all, let's say this right. These are very articulated, advanced, healed women seemingly. Right, but this is not the norm. This is not the social norm. Right?
Sure.
If this was the social norm, Thick Chick 27 on Instagram wouldn't get 800 million views a day. Right? It's what we operate from is very
Chick 27.
I'm just saying, it's the reality.
Okay, come on.
We getting this backlash. We getting this echo too. I don't know. I'm getting this echo on
I hear it
in
now
my
too.
headphones now too. I don't know if this is going out to the audience.
I might have
like
put that on Lamantria, and it might not have nothing to do with her.
Right, but either way though, I don't think most of us operate in a spiritual place. I think most of us operate in a very transactional space, and the very nature of America is being transactional. That's how capitalism kind of works. And I know I always get the pushback when I bring forth capitalism, but I think the social norms create our value sets for within our relationships. So I totally agree with Mama Love, and I agree with Lamantria too, that the real relationship is about healing yourself. But I think there's a struggle to get you looking at yourself first in a vulnerable way to see that you even need healing. Right, we started this conversation off about some of the disconnects between black men and black women specifically. And let's be clear, this conversation is just not for me, and I don't think for her either. It's just a broad umbrella statement about relationships, because I don't think the social norm is the same across the board. This is about black relationships.
100%.
And I think the social norm for black people is very different. Right?
It is.
Just earlier this morning, I shared a video that somebody put out about going to vote, and it was filled with strippers talking about go to the polls. Like, that's how they communicate.
Which I thought was a brilliant video.
Herb thought it was a brilliant
I thought it was brilliant.
I thought it was a piece of, I'm trying not to curse. It was that, though, for me. And the reason I said that is because it kind of dehumanizes our women.
No, it doesn't.
No, that's your opinion. But what it does is it puts them in the purview of just being sexual objects. It puts them in the purview of being less than, because they would never promote that idea to any other level of woman or any other ethnic group of women. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We got to understand that we all respond to those images. Mm-hmm. Right, and that's how we create what becomes the social norm. Mm-hmm. That's how we treat
it. Let me. I have to comment on that. Okay. Here's the thing. When I start talking about labels, I start talking about how society labels us. It labels the black woman a certain way, which is why they can give somebody an arrest for shooting through the wall rather than shooting through a right. black human woman. And right. here's the thing about that. We have objectified our women to be parts because we don't even know how to have sex the right way. We don't know the difference between relational sex and object sex. Relational sex is when you have to invest in a relationship. You have to give love. You have to give attention. You have to give all of these different things. and you have to see the woman as a whole. And when you talk about object sex, you and objectifying that woman, you glorify pieces of her. And let me tell you something. If you think that doesn't matter, it does. And I'm going to tell you why it matters. I looked at a video and I was looking at these young boys, these teenagers, and they were like, do you like black women or white women? I like white women. I like white women. And first I felt some kind of way. But then you know what happened to me? I started listening to them and they said, why did you like the white women? Because they'll do anything for you. Yeah, the white hoes. And I thought, oh, pornography has elevated what the white woman will do for you, the objectifying of her. And this is why we don't realize that even in our spaces, while the black man is shut down, all of this is together. The black man is shut down because he doesn't know the power of his seed like the white man knows the power of his seed. He doesn't realize that you sit up there coming into my neighborhood, objectifying my white women because you say they do it better than your women is a problem. You don't realize that 50% of your traumatized epigenetic DNA will follow my generations. As you hook up with my daughter, I will have to bring my grandchildren into the world with 50% of your traumatized, untreated trauma of your generations, of the people that her grandfathers actually hurt. Right. He knows that. He knows that pretty soon, and I give you 2 generations, one, that I am extinct as a man. And all of this is related to the relationship. So when you glorify that woman, that white woman over that black woman, when you think that the relationship is she's just objectifying, they don't do it to them. Even if they having problems, but they won't bring that out, and they will not allow you to do that to their women.
So I have to comment. Wait. I gotta comment.
Wait,
and I see that. I definitely see that. And I think I love to get down to the root of things. I think the young men, if they say they choose the white woman or the black woman, I think it always goes back to the household where that young man was raised. Because the woman I believe that the woman is just as beautiful as the man. The woman created the man. The woman is the man, the individual who raised and built that young man. So in order for that young man to have a preference is what he sees. So if society is raising your child, of course that's what that young man is going to want. But that's why we have to do better as women and as black men to come together and say, you know what, these are our children. And I'm learning that it's individualized raising now. My grandmother, old school, she say it take a village to raise a kid. So the auntie, the uncle, the mama, everybody raising this one child. Absolutely. And I think we have to get to a space where we say, you know what, this is our kid. These are our young men. This is our generation. We got to get French. We are one. And when we all build these young men, and as women, we exemplify to these young men, I am a young woman. I do deserve respect, and I will not tolerate anything else other than what I know that I'm supposed to have. And I think we have to build our young women to understand that there's more to being subjective to certain things. It's all about who you are from the top to the bottom, from the soles of your feet all the way up.
Listen, Lamontia, I gotta pause you. I gotta pause right there. We gotta take a break. When we come back from the break, I want to get the rest of your thought too. I know you got a response to it as well. And Love McPherson brought up a point about that particular video, which we have audio from. We're going to play that audio when we come back from the break.
Play the audio first, though, because the audience can be understanding what we're discussing. Right?
All right. When we come back from this break,
I got pushback for both of y'all, so let's do it.
When we come back from this break, you'll hear the audio of the conversation that Love McPherson alluded to about the brothers speaking on why they desire white women so much. This is I Say What I Said. My name is Herb. His name is Tu. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTBPM.
Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz.
You walked away from your day job and you went straight in the
Man, brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion. I wanted to do the comedy. So I quit. But when you quit that job, job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life.
Yes.
When I say he went off on me,
My son works.
when I told him I quit to do comedy, my mom, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings. You realizing what God wants you to do.
Right,
and
right.
My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
Old school black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
Hands knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hands manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right.
He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. Look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
The biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid, and some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and costs. Drug prices require decisions between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTVPN.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
And we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner here with you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. Thank you all so very, very much for choosing to be a part of the conversation. We greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of you choosing to tune in to this conversation. We are absolutely thrilled to be joined on the live line by Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards, joining us for a conversation on relationships, as we always do on each and every Friday. If you have not done so, please take a quick moment to share the conversation, share it on your personal page, share within your personal network, invite someone to be a part of the conversation. Also, if you would like to contribute to the show, you can do so as well by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, or you can cash app $ at Herb Howard if you want to contribute there as well. We certainly appreciate each and every one of you. Listen, before we went to break, we're alluding to a video that came out on social media where a group of brothers were talking about why they are so enthralled by the interactions of white women. We're going to play that video for you right now.
I like black girls to like an extent, you feel me?
To an extent? What's the extent? The skin tone?
Yeah.
Okay, what kind of black girls?
Like either my complexion or lighter.
I'm darker than you, so you want to talk to me?
No.
Wow.
Mean. Black dark skins are mean.
What?
Yeah.
I'm mean?
Yeah.
You don't even know me. I understand.
White girls did shit. White girls ain't as judgy. Like, y'all judging me and y'all mean. That's double negative, y'all.
Alright, so I like Asian girls, really.
Do you like dark chocolate?
Yes.
Why?
Because you gotta show the dark chocolate some love sometimes.
He likes all the flavors of the ice cream.
I got all types, yeah. You know how I go.
Okay.
Which do y'all prefer, black or white females? White.
I just like white females.
You like white?
They let's get her.
White girls got that super head. Who you say more freaky? White girls. White girls? Okay. Black or white females? White females. Alright, why? Good. Black or white females?
Black.
Alright, why though?
Cause like, number one, like they got big ass booties. I don't give a fuck. And you just like bond more with them because you know you stay relationship, right?
Black or white females? White girls. Black girls, why you say that? I said white girls. Oh, you said white girls, why you say that? You know they let you do it. Yeah, you know, they let you do it you want, for sure. So you with a black girl right now, or you with a white girl? I'm with a black girl. With a black girl, all right. Or black or white female? That's tough.
The white female, I'm sorry, bro.
All right, why you say white?
I just like them, bro. That's just why I like black girls. They like to give a nigga attitudes and shit.
Do y'all prefer black or white females?
White.
Why you say white?
I feel like they just do it better.
They do it better?
White girls got it.
The white hoes.
White.
Man, the white hoes.
Like the white girls on top, but the white girls, they hot it.
Yeah. Who you think got more of an attitude, though? Black.
That was a video that has gone around social media hundreds of thousands of times over. Different young black men, emphasis on young black men describing themselves as being preferential toward white women in terms of dating over black women. I don't know what you heard, and I certainly want to know what the ladies heard, but what I heard was a bunch of young men talking about white women being more submissive or free in bed, or less attitudinal than black women. I don't know what your experience has been, but I disagree with these brothers wholeheartedly.
So just putting this disclaimer out there, right? I've never been with a white woman in my life.
Shit.
I said me. I don't know what you.
I'm talking about you.
No. I can for sure say I've never been with a white woman in my life, right? That's just not my thing. But I think that what we aren't hearing, and I hear what Mama Love is saying too about I don't know how she worried about people. We don't even know how to have sex. We have object sex, right? And I'm an old man at this point, and I'm married, and I'm committed to that relationship. So I'm in a space and place where I can be vulnerable enough to talk about my truth, the truth of my past.
Sure.
I would say that 99% of the women that I had sex with pre-marriage, and even early in the marriage, it was probably objectional or whatever she called it, object sex or whatever, ooh, she's super thick, I'm going. It was that kind of thing. It's just the real, right?
Sure.
But again, I said there's this maturation that happens, at least it happened for me, that is a spiritual calling per se, and it changes my perspective of how I look at almost everything.
Right.
But I hear much more than just the objectional sex in that conversation, right? And it goes back to what I was saying about the social norms and the social conditions creating the standards for our relationships, and us operating oppositional to our spirit. Right? I hear a lot of what they're saying is that, there's a role reversal in our community. We got to be honest about that, right? That's why black relationship is important.
Sure,
black is important because in our community we got to be honest that they are. When we talk about that feminization of the black male, that's honest, right?
That's real.
But we also got to be honest and say there's a masculinization of the black female. Right, and we respond to that from this relational standpoint. Like, wait a minute, as a young boy, man, I'm not finna deal with. I don't want to be with no man, and that's what I get. This is the kind of energy I get from you. This is the pushback energy I get from you. So when you get the young white girl, and they might be saying, "Oh, she's submissive and she's down to have sex," what they're really saying is she's more open to me. I don't know why I'm getting this pushback.
Something just came back in where we automatically just start getting another echo from like 5 seconds ago. I don't know where that's coming from. Listen, let me ask you ladies this. What's your initial reaction when you hear so many young black brothers saying they prefer white women over black women?
For me, I don't know if you get. For me, what happens is Tucson is 100% correct about what he's saying about what we are presenting. What we need to talk about is why we are presenting this. Why are black women becoming hardened? Because they are fathering their mothers who were on drugs. They are protecting them against the men that have come in and beat them. And they have been the ones. This is the people that I get. When I give women who are successful, and a lot of times we attribute it to their success, but actually it's contributed to the hardening of them to stand in as fathers for their mothers, to stand in as fathers to protect their kids. And now all of a sudden you're going to bring a man who I have never been able to depend on or trust and say, oh, trust him. Here, he's going to take you. You go under now. You come up. Let me come on top. When have you ever came in? So that's their experience. Not everybody, but that's their experience. Let me tell you something. I work with white girls and I work with black. And this is the difference that a lot of times I see. I will not sit here and stereotype everybody. This is the difference that I see on a large scale. The white women ain't coming to get their emotional needs met from you because their daddies did it. They got their hugs from their fathers. They don't come to you and say, fix the broken parts of me. The white women, they came with you, they don't have a problem. They look in their homes and they sing that. I came from a 2-parent home. My parents were married for 60 years. They were still in love. My mother named me Love because of my love for her love for me. Now, this is what the gift of that was. I was able to see men in a whole different form, not traumatized by men. I was able to see love of men. I was able to see the duplicity of a man. I was able to see a woman to submit to a man, but a man not take advantage of her by beating on her or cheating on her. Do you know what a gift that is as a woman? And that's why 37 years later, I can respect my husband. I don't have to emasculate him. Why? Because I learned in that household the skills to work with a man and to respect a man. But if I've never seen that, and if you've never seen that either, you will think that maybe what your mother's boyfriend did to her is normalized, or what your uncles told you is normalized. In a healthy household, it is not.
Or what your mother did to you as a son is normalized. Right?
There we go. Too. Yep.
So and what I want to be clear is that I'm not saying this from the perspective of women need to or men need to. I absolutely know who the opposition is. Right? I know that we are operating. This goes back to the Neely Fuller quote. This is why I don't never get away from the Neely Fuller quote.
Drop the first Neely Fuller quote of the day.
The Neely Fuller quote goes, until you fully understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything you think you understand
That's
only
right.
confuse you. Right? So what we end up doing in these conversations is we say, well, even in the comments right now, right? I just heard the sister say, I'm tired of men saying what women need to do. And I don't know if that was directed at me, but it came about the statement I made. But my point is, I'm not telling what women need to do. I'm just making an observation of how this is playing out in our community today.
Sure.
But how it's playing out in our community today, that observation is based on the result of 400 years of slavery and trauma and emasculation, because that is how you maintain
trauma.
That's how you maintain power, right? We are operating from a
It's
power
so
position,
true.
and they're going to keep their foots on our necks, and these are the responses. But instead of dealing with the root cause of this, we start to analyze and look at each other as being the basis. So instead of saying white men ruin black communities, we say black men ain't shit. Black men don't protect black women. And black men say, just like the young boys in the video, black women is hoes. Black women, you know what I'm saying? It reverberates the same way. And we keep this perpetual sense of argument amongst ourselves because we've never really seen the real culprit.
I think it's important to be able to identify the real culprit, who's causing these breakdowns, and it's a much larger issue than I don't get along with my partner, I don't get along with my spouse, I don't like this woman, I don't like this man. There are much larger things at play here in terms of emasculating men in American culture. There are much larger things at play here in terms of how we go about trying to elevate women in American culture. Those types of things are very, very real, or to degrade women in American culture. All those things are very, very real, and we bring those things into our homes, into our relationships, without fully realizing the impact that they have upon us. Lamontria, I'm very interested to know how you feel when you hear young black brothers say, I prefer white women over black women.
I hear, and I don't know why I'm echoing too. I just unmuted myself. I hear two things. I hear, one, there's a lack of value on the black woman and on the black man. And two, I hear broken homes. I am a product of a broken relationship. My mom had me when she was 16 years old, so I didn't have the privilege to grow up in a double parent home. So all I seen was my grandmother being hurt and then her mother being hurt. So it's generational hurt. And now that puts me in a space of being protective on how I love, because I've never really seen love. And so it's beautiful to hear you, Miss Love, say that I grew up in a home where I seen my mother and my father, and that's a privilege that I did not get. But I have promised myself as a woman to say that when I become a mother, when I become a wife, I'm going to show certain principles to my daughter or to my son so that they understand the value of how to treat our women and how to treat our young men. And that's in power is that we all need the broken homes have to be healed, but we have to understand where is the root of the pain, and it all goes back to the broken homes, going into slavery, and having our families having to be able to search and scavenge and figure out how to make it work. And that's the power of a Black woman. So when I heard the comment, the Black woman always got an attitude, or she always got something, it's not even that. It's just we're natural protectors because we've always had to protect. And my mom had to play the mother and the father role. So when I heard that, I hear there's a lack of value on the Black women, and as Black women and Black men, we have to be able to put a value, a higher value on each other.
We absolutely must be able to put that value on each other. Again, it is the very foundation of everything that we want to stack on top of that in our community. Whether you talk about businesses, education, whatever it may be, if we're going to build self-sustainable communities, it's got to start with that foundation of family, and that begins with that relationship dynamic in the household. Listen, ladies, we got to take one more break.
Can I just say, oh, okay.
As soon as we come back, love, I got you. Right?
Okay.
Soon as we come back, I got you.
No problem.
Yeah, because Mama Love ready. She ready. She got what you need. She in there with the double dust motion. She ready to jump in. She ready to go.
I love what she said. That young lady said. I love what she said. All right.
Well, you hold that thought. We'll put a bow on that when we come back. I'll ask you guys to hold on through one more break. I'll try to get you guys out of here by 2:30. This is I Said What I Said. His name is Tu. My name is Herb. We are joined on the live line by Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTBPM.
Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz.
You walked away from your day job and you went straight in the
Man, brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion of wanting to do the comedy. So I quit. But when you quit that job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young Black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life. Yes. When I say he went off on me,
my son works.
When I told him I quit to do comedy, my mom, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings, realizing what God wants you to do.
Right.
My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
Old school Black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
Hands knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hands manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right.
He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. I'm like, look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
The biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid, and some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and costs. Drug prices require decisions between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
What's up, good people? This is Herb Howard, one half of I Said What I Said. Make sure you tune in every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. It is intellectual thuggery at its finest. The blackest conversation, Herb Howard, Tucson Warner, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. 1 to 3 p.m.
WIFTBPM.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Tucson Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
we are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. This is I Said What I Said. My name is Herb Howard, my esteemed co-host. His name is Toussaint Warner. Thank each and every one of you guys for choosing to be a part of this conversation. It means the absolute world to us that you've chosen to spend your afternoon with us. We know that you can literally be anywhere else in the world. So the fact that you are here, we are more than grateful for. We are also absolutely grateful to be joined live by Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards as we have another Relationship Friday, and we're trying to talk through issues that are impacting the black community as it pertains to the relationship dynamics of black men and black women. We heard from an audio, young black men saying that they prefer white women over black women, which is absolute foolishness in my estimation, but who am I, right? Before we went to break, Love, you wanted to respond to some of the comments that Lamontria made.
Yes, you know what Lamontria talked about a lot of what a lot of the young ladies are raised in, and as she began to talk about her home, generations of not even seeing, having a man in the home maybe and experiencing what that is like. Now, let me tell you something. Lamontria, you could see that she is dedicated to actually, changing the course of that.
Sure.
However, if she doesn't get any skills, if she doesn't learn compassion for the black man in his struggle, if the black man she gets has no compassion for what she has gone through, there's still going to be labels, the labels of society, the labels of beauty, how they label whatever the case may be. A lot of times what people find when they're coming to me is I began to show them compassion for why a person is doing what they're doing. If you are have suffered neglect, then a lot of times what you will see is that person, they don't trust society. They don't trust people because they have been taught that conditioned to believe. If I cry, nobody's getting me a bottle. So
Right.
therefore, I need to do it all myself.
Right.
If somebody has been abandoned, they say, I don't even have the glue to keep this person. If somebody has been abused, they say, I am not good enough. I can't please you. Those are internal messages that you deal with. And then when you begin to see it on somebody else, you just think you make a label of them. What you may not see is that is a trauma response. That is a condition response. If you sit there and tell a woman, here, you be the man and the woman in that household, and then you violate her and say, or you label her and say, you're too masculine. You can't take it both ways. You can't make me be the man and the woman of your child and then get mad at me when I am too masculine. And I'm not saying that this is always the situation. I am saying that it is a systematic messages that keep us fighting when we are on fighting the same war, the same knee that put their knee into the man, put his gun into the woman. We are in this thing together, and we've got to have compassion for each other and see that unless we come back together, divided, we fall.
Yeah, it starts with love of self. If I can love myself, then I'm able to be a full human being and then see you as such and then love on you as well. I think we absolutely are in the same boat. We must understand that and realize that. Listen, I want to try and get you ladies out of here by 2:30. So let me ask you this, Lamontria. Well, 2:30 Central Time. Let me ask you this, Lamontria. As a young black woman, what is it that you would be looking for, ideally, in a partner?
I don't have expectations. I know the ideal is to say I want a strong man. I mean, of course, I guess an expectation would be I want you to be a God-fearing man. That's always first with me, because I know that if we keep God in the center of this, whatever, I don't care about the physical appearance. I want to know where your mind, your heart, your spirit, and your soul is, and that's the power, man. I'm so serious. I'm so serious. And that's the power.
That's a lie. You're not finna date some God-fearing, ugly-ass dude. You're not. That's not true.
Because listen. If you be crazy to believe that when I was in high school, that's all the idea was. I want a tall, 6-foot athlete. And then I realized that the tall ones wasn't even really the ones that show the most love. So I just want a nice man that's gonna do right by me, show me a good family, and that's the power of having those healing conversations.
Lamantria, I love you.
Come on, man.
Listen, today it's Friday. Let's say you go out and you have your little happy hour this evening. You sitting at the bar, you and your homegirl, and the least attractive brother that you could imagine. I won't put no characteristics on it because we public and I don't want to upset nobody, right? But the least attractive man that in your mind you can come up with walks up to you, tries to get your attention, tries to start a conversation, wants to exchange information. He's hideous. It's your standards, whatever you determine hideous to be. He's absolutely hideous. But this man is very spiritual. He's God-fearing. He got his shit in order. He's a family man. He's funny. You going or not?
Man, I might go, but I don't know the man, so I can't even say.
So you cool with the assumption that he's ugly, but we're not gonna go on the assumption that he's a good dude.
No, listen. I don't know what. I don't want to take my bases off this man. I don't know, man. I don't know this man.
I'm not judging you. I'm not trying to put you on the spot either. I'm the same way, right? So I like a woman to be, God-fearing, very spiritual. I like her to be funny. I like her to be family-oriented. All of those things.
Those are the things you like her.
And it's hard to me.
Cut the crap.
Man. It's all about the approach, because the way you approach me speaks volumes for the type of man that you are. So the way that you say hello to me, the way you pull out my chair, it'd be the small things. Like if I'm walking into a restaurant and you open up the door and I'm walking in, I like that. Okay, thank you. Like it's the little bitty things like that make a man to me. I don't, because the appearance is nothing. If the heart ain't right, the man could be beautiful on the outside, but if his heart and his mind ain't right, he ain't got no use.
I'm just teasing you, sis. I feel you.
I could never do ugly. It just wasn't.
Yeah, listen. What Eddie Murphy said, I like the funny one, but I don't want to be in bed like this. Like, tell me another joke. Tell me another joke, please. Like, I'm just saying, there has to be some physical attraction at the base level.
Real fast. And that's the power, man. When we come to Chicago, I need to make sure y'all let the Heal America tour, because that's what Bishop Omar talks about, is how we got to have these uncomfortable conversations to build the broken homes, to have those conversations, to look for people in these communities who are actually demonstrating what you guys are doing. And so that's why we got to work together as a team and show our community what this healing process is looking like, because as Ms. Love said, it's just a lot of broken homes. And we gotta be able to heal.
So Lamantra, before we get out of here, I'm coming to you for the last word. I'm coming to you last. I promise. Lamantra, before we get out of here, tell the people where they can find you, and tell us some more about the event coming up here in Chicago.
Yes. So if you go to www.healamericatour.com, go to register. The event is going to be on the 28th at 6 p.m. Here in Chicago. I'm in Dallas, but right there in Chicago. And you can tune in virtual, or you can register to be in person. And you can follow me on Instagram at I'm.Lamantria Edwards. And you can also follow Bishop Omar at Bishop Omar Jawar.
Well, we certainly appreciate the time. We look forward to you being here in the city. Let us know when you get here. We would love to fall through the event as well. Listen, Miss Love McPherson, any closing remarks for you? I know you want to respond to that, but then after that, any closing remarks for you for how people can keep in touch with you? And also, I saw your 5 rules, right? I saw your 5 rules that you gave. At least I know you've given them before, and let us know about your books as well. But I saw your 5 rules on Windy City Live. Let us know about those things as we get ready to close out.
Okay. One of the things that I just want to encourage, especially single women, is that go for the character of a man, because it's the character that is going to actually keep you long term. First of all, as a single person, I want you to see that your mind, what it does is you think that marriage will cure you. Marriage will make you happy. Relationships will make you happy. But the science of your mind acts the same way as the science of your body. You get a small place of joy or happiness, a peak, and then it comes back down and your happiness levels regulates. Just like medication. If you're taking pain medication over a long term, it actually, your body comes up to meet it. So this is not the cure. Relationships is not the cure for your happiness. Relationships will not make you long-term happy or anything like that. Your goal is this. Your goal is to leave a legacy. And your goal is not to leave a legacy of trauma. Your goal is to leave a healthy legacy upon the earth. Don't treat the Black community like we treat Black businesses. We have no plan of succession. We have great places we used to eat that don't exist today. When you began to treat your marriage and relationships like this is just right now for me only, instead of looking in the long run, all the other successful societies and cultures, they look as the group and see ahead. Look ahead and see, if this is where I'm going, what are my value systems? What do I want to produce upon the earth? Where am I going? And if that person is not going in that direction with you, don't try to drag them along.
Sure.
You just say, okay, you're going opposite of me. That's not for you. So what you do is follow your values. If you abandon your values, you abandon yourself because you are your core values. Do not abandon yourself, because then you can expect somebody to abandon you.
But don't that mean I gotta let go of what I like about them? I like the part I like about them. Can I hold on to that part?
Like about this is what you do. The love is all about giving. It's not about, when you don't look at somebody and say, what am I going to receive from them? Love itself is about giving. So the question you ask is, can my love cover that? You look at them, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and ask yourself, can my love cover that?
Listen, ladies, I thank you both so very much for taking the time to join us. We truly appreciate both of your expertise and your opinions and your experience. We thank you for bringing them to our platform and sharing them with our viewing and listening audience. We are more than grateful. We certainly hope that you will come back. Love, we've got requests from some of our I Said What I Said OGs that said they would like to hear you here at least once a month. So maybe we can try to set that up. At least get you a segment on here, a regular, something like that. So if you're open to that, that's something we can discuss in the future. But I want to thank you both for taking the time.
Mama Love, tell Tip we can hear in the background too. Tell I said what up.
That's your girl, Tim. Tiffany's waving at you.
Ladies, thank you so much for taking the time. We will talk to you soon. Enjoy your weekend.
Been such a pleasure.
Pleasure was all ours. Thank you. That was Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards joining us on the live line. We got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get into your comments, everything that you have to say from all the things that you heard, and we will open.
I'm providing pushback. That's what I'm doing. I just let them get it out.
And per usual, Tucson will be providing pushback. This is I Say What I Said. My name is Herb. His name is Tu. We'll be right back after this.
WIIFTBPM. Chicago famous with Mike Love and Diz.
You walked away from your day job and you went straight in the
Man, brother, first time somebody called me to do the gig, they was like, hey, I got my grandmama's 85-year-old birthday party. She's turning 85. She has a brain tumor. I mean, now she's not going to be able to hear because she's in a coma, but she'll be laying in the room, and we just want the good vibes. Well, what is it? $75. We need you to do an hour. I'm there because of the passion I wanted to do the comedy. So I quit. But when you quit that job, and the job I had was decent. My father, every young black man should have a dad or a father figure in his life. Yes. When I say he went off on me, my son works. When I told him I quit to do comedy, my mom, mamas is always like, well, that's good, baby. You spread your wings, realizing what God wants you to do. Right. My father like, you got to be the dumbest son of a bitch in the world. I can't believe you came from my ball sack. $65,000 a year. Me and your mama combined only make 80. You dumb mother. I mean, going off. Like, me and my pops actually kind of fell out.
Old school black fathers, old school mindset. They came up working. They know how hard it is.
Hands knuckles black. Hands look like he worked at the steel mill, like he was dipping them in the lava. So, he pissed. My hair's manicured.
He's super cool and he know kung fu.
I'm clean. I work on computers.
Drives a $5,000 car and wears a $100 suit.
Right. He like, I'm out here getting lung poisoning from inhaling all these steel mill fumes and touching people's mail. Look at my hands. I can't even pick up a fork and knife. Your mama got to cut my food for me. And you want to quit to do some damn comedy. He hell.
Chicago famous. 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Tucson Warner and Herb Howard.
You'll never breed a warrior. Warriors, come out to play.
You hear that? And that's what's happening at every angle. They're creating paradigms where we can only raise feminine men. Whether they're homosexual or not, they feminine as shit.
Sure, because all masculinity is toxic.
All masculinity is toxic in a war-torn society where the dominant society is saying to your ass, we don't never want no warriors.
Right.
You bastards. Any book you've ever read, you can read the Bible, goddammit. When they go and they destroy some shit, they kill all the boy babies.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't even want you growing up to think you're gonna do some shit to me.
Animals do the same thing. If I come over here and I take over this village now or whatever, like this gonna be my pride. First thing I'm doing, killing the male boys, like killing the male babies.
Don't you even grow up with that?
Don't you even think about it,
okay?
Bitch. Right. You ain't my dad. You damn right I ain't your daddy. Fuck your fort, little nigga.
Fuck your fort.
You're not my dad.
That's oh man, I hate that I laugh at this shit in public.
That's real.
I hate that I laugh at this stuff in public.
That's real though, right? Tucson Warner and Herb Howard live on What's in It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
WIFTBPN. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Tucson Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Well, people, we are just about another week down here on I Said What I Said here at What's in It for the Black People Media. Another Relationship Friday is just about in the books. We have the opportunity to speak with Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards talking about relationships. And, you know, to the best of our ability, Tu and I kind of sat quietly and let the sisters give their perspectives and say what they had to say. But y'all know that makes Tu uncomfortable to have to listen to other people tell their perspectives without offering his. Tucson Warner, sir, the floor is yours.
That's hilarious and true. No, but listen, man, I love Mama Love. I don't know Lamontria, but it's interesting, right? So Lamontria is in Texas. I'm assuming Dallas, but I might be off. But if you think about Dallas, Dallas is kind of the Bible Belt of America.
Sure.
Right? So when she was answering, she was coming kind of with these kind of traditional, entrenched in the Bible, entrenched in church kind of responses. And Mama Love openly speaks from this perspective of religion. You know what I mean? So even when she asked me to be a part of her last program, I was kind of like, nah, that ain't my thing, because I'm not going to, adhere to some of that Jesus speech. That just ain't my thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But some of the pushback I wanted to provide, though, is like, in order to evolve, we have to be revolutionarily honest, right? And to be revolutionarily honest, you have to have information, right? Mm-hmm. And we lack a lot of the information. So even when we hit the crowd or the audience or our fan base or our friends with the nearly full of quote, what that does is it's like a blanket covering to say that you don't know shit.
Right.
That's really what that statement, that's what that quote means. Right. It means you don't know shit.
Right.
Right? And if you take the world from that vantage point or operate in the world from that vantage point, then you got to start reinvesting in the information. Not what you've been told, but the truth.
Right. That's the piece.
And therein lies
not you don't know
difference.
Shit. What you know will confuse you until you understand this other thing.
It's going to confuse you because all the shit that you know is really only put in play to keep this segment of the population in power. Right? So a lot of the conversation we were just having, and it was like you said, I allowed everyone to kind of open up and do their thing. And those were women, so they were speaking mostly from the feminine, and I get that, I understand that, and a lot of the reason I speak from the masculine might be solely based in the fact that I'm a man, right? So I experienced the world from this vantage point. I think it was like 1965, maybe, when Malcolm gave a speech when he said the woman is the least protected, the black woman is the least protected, most disrespected human on the planet Earth, and at that time that might have been true.
Is it true today?
But it's not true today. Today it's in reverse. It's the black male that's the most disrespected. And there's a reason for that.
And unprotected?
And unprotected. And there's a reason for that, right? Because when you start to really fully grasp, this is why we got the commercial that runs to say, you're not my dad.
You're not my dad.
That's where that commercial comes from,
Shout
right?
out to
Because
Escobar.
the opposition have realized that in order to really disable our community, we got to be the weakest species. We got to be the weakest species. The black male and the white male are polar opposites. Polar opposites. We're their competition, not our sisters. And that's no disrespect to the sisters, right? But partially what I'm saying is, man, that there's some there's some advantages for black women in their positioning in the white supremacist society today.
Sure.
Right? That's why, it's funny when they say that, black men there was an article a few years, maybe even, I don't even think it was a full year ago, but it said that black men were the white men of the black community. Mm-hmm. Essentially, that we cause all this oppression to our women. Mm-hmm. But when you start looking at the numbers, the sheer numbers, the facts, the data, right? There's no measurable social data point that we overcome our sisters in. We're not more educated. We don't make more money. We don't own enough. We don't own more. The only place that we overpower our women is physically, right? And when you start doing the numbers on that, because that's the pushback that a lot of sisters give, when you start really looking at the numbers of that, it's like 48 to 50.
You're talking about domestic violence.
Domestic violence, it goes both ways. And what you start to realize, and even that violence part is really a repercussion to poverty. Mm-hmm. Because once you get up out of them poverty ranks, those numbers change drastically, right? So all I'm saying is this, man. At the core of our understanding, our relationships are based in the social norms of America. That's what it is, right? And if the social norms in America are to destroy us, because that's what they are, if we're being honest, then we got to get beyond the scope of saying it's your fault or it's my fault. Right? So in that vein, I do agree with loving them, but I just think the way that it's explained, and we got, I think the way it's communicated from the feminine is that they have no responsibility. It's all hinged on male failure.
I think therein lies what the actual issue is. I think that nobody is really ready and willing to stand in the space and say, I'm responsible here. I hold myself accountable here for the problems or the breakdowns in this relationship. Everything looks, from my perspective, to be your fault. And that may very well fucking be true, right? But so's the other side. The other perspective coming from the other side that says, well, I think it's your fault. That also may very well be true. And I recently came to a revelation that two truths don't make a lie, right? And I'm just talking about relationship, speaking in terms of relationship. You think that I think because I'm giving you my perspective, and I know my perspective to be real, authentic, true, and I hold value in it, right? Then whatever you're saying to me must be a fucking lie. There's no way what I'm saying is true and what you're saying isn't a lie. But that's not really the case. I can be giving you my true, authentic version of what's been happening here, and you can be doing the same. And those two truths don't necessarily make a lie, even though they don't mesh well. Even though they don't, one doesn't really reconcile the other, that doesn't mean one of those things is a lie, right? And so then there becomes this point where it's necessary for somebody to say, okay, I see what you're saying, right? I can see where I fucked up at, right? And let me tell you where you had me fucked up at. And then if we can find that middle ground, then it becomes possible, right? I don't know about likely, I don't know about whatever, but it becomes possible to then kind of rebuild that foundation and start anew, right?
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between feelings and facts. Mm-hmm. And what we started to do is we started to make truths out of our emotional responses to shit. And that's not necessarily based in factual information.
Oh, no, that's
right?
true.
There are certain facts that lead to certain outcomes. It just is what it is, right? So what's it take to be a man in America? Not being born male, but what do you have to be a man in America?
You have to be one. You have to be able to provide and protect. That's what I would leave it right there.
Those are just the two main ones, right? Provide and protect.
Sure.
Where do black men stand in America? Where do black older male figures stand in America? Because if provide and protect is the standard, what percentage of our population is men, do you think?
Not many. Very few men are able to
and that
provide.
Is based on what?
And, they think they're able to protect, but on what level, right?
Shit, Breonna Taylor just got shot up the other day.
Right.
So, but
that man was trying to protect her.
But those numbers are based on what?
White supremacy.
Absolutely, right?
It's always,
you have to have the information, but those are factual information.
Right.
It's not just, you just ain't shit.
No.
Right?
No.
So, but here where I'm going with this, right? You just ain't shit becomes a norm, though. It becomes a social norm. It becomes a push kind of narrative, right? And you just said two facts can be true. Right. But that shit ain't a fact. Right? This is how you're supposed to end up in the paradigm when these opportunities are being stripped from you. Right? But in order to know that, you got to invest in the information.
You must.
You must invest in the information.
I think that's why it's very, very easy to look at it that way and say, "Oh, you just fucked up. They just fucked up," right? And that is why I push back on Mike Brown. And if you're not hip to Mike Brown, he has a show here called Trigger every Tuesday and Thursday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. You definitely need to tune into it. Mike Brown is absolutely the best at what he does, right? We have some philosophical differences, and that is because he chooses to view this thing from one perspective, right? To say, "Oh, it's all about black accountability. We need to do better and we'll have better outcomes." And listen, we absolutely need to do better, right? All across the board, we need to do better. I've said, ever since I've become aware of the issues in our community and actively engaged in overcoming them, that we have been complicit in our own demise. But complicit and causal is not the same thing, right?
And I think
we haven't
important.
caused these things. We've been complicit in these things.
I think language is important. And I think even when we both say we both at fault, I don't think we're at fault at all. I think we're both responsible. I don't think we're at fault at all. We're not at fault. That's a falsehood.
Okay, I get you. I'll use this analogy, right? Parents come home, younger child has knocked over some shit and broke it, right? Older child ain't at fault, but you're responsible, motherfucker. What was you doing while that shit was happening, right? And I think that's happening in our communities here. We didn't cause this shit, but what were we doing while this shit was happening? Right? What were we distracted by? Right? In the analogy I gave, you might have been on the phone with your girlfriend, you might have been playing the game, you might have been outside. Who the fuck knows? You were distracted and allowed this shit to happen. You're responsible. You didn't cause it, no, right? And the same thing's happening here when you talk about white supremacy and the impacts of black community. We didn't cause this shit, but what were we doing while it was happening? Were we too busy trying to assimilate ourselves into white culture? Were we too busy chasing the bag? Were we too busy running the streets? What the fuck were we doing while they were running rampant in our community, smoking all of our shit? That's a responsibility.
The paradigm you was in, right? Because in the beginning, it was people fighting and dying. It was also people assimilating to survive. And what does assimilation look like? I'm just gonna go pick this goddamn cotton. But at the end of the day, the measures to emasculate the man, dehumanize the man, and masculinize the woman were all in play. Because that is what you do to corrupt the society. We live inside of a matriarch, inside of a patriarch. That is nothing new. Big Mama has always been more important than Big Daddy. Yeah. That wasn't this generation or the generation before that. Yeah. It is nothing new. We are legitimately 2.5 grandmamas away from slavery.
It's real.
Legitimately.
It's real.
2.5 grandmamas away from this shit. They were buck breaking. They was beating your ass. They was feeding you slop. You was wearing potato sacks as fucking clothes. Right? We are not at fault. And what happened scientifically, this ain't no fucking mishap. This ain't by happenstance. Scientifically, these are the behaviors that you create. So responsible, yeah. We are responsible to change or take hold of the situation as it is.
Sure.
And mold the outcomes that we want to see. But at fault, no, I ain't going.
I hear you. We got to take a break. Listen, we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we will wrap up this conversation. We'll go through many of your comments as well. Thank y'all so much for being here. This is I Said What I Said. Herb and 2 here with you for about another 12 minutes or so. We'll be right back after this.
WIFTV-PM.
You can hang out with Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz 3 to 6 p.m. right here on What's In It for the Black People Media live on the Mays Jackson page. So shout out to Chicago famous. They did their thing. They did a phenomenal job. Those brothers, listen, radio legends, right? And you come in and you used to doing things one way and trying to flip it and do another way. They handled it seamlessly, man. So shout out to Mike Love and Diz for holding it down as they always have done. Welcome to the What's In It for the Black People Media family. Good luck at achieving number 2 status for the second best show on What's In It for the Black People Media, because number 1 is and always will be I Said What I Said.
Always remember, if you ain't first, you're last.
Whenever I play, I want to play to win. I don't see no purpose in playing.
You play to win the game.
What's the word?
In the famous
Can
words
you
of
beat
Herm
my
Edwards.
ass though?
Can you whoop my ass though?
It's really that simple. I don't plan on getting my ass whooped.
Hey, yo, wait a minute. Hey.
Chicago famous
Mike
nigga whoop
can't
my ass.
and Chicago
We not
famous
here for
can't
no
whoop.
ass whoop.
That's
Yo, what's your problem, man? Y'all are brothers. You ain't supposed to be fighting each other.
We not here for no ass whoop.
That's not what we here for.
We're not here for no ass whoop.
It's not what we here for.
Not at all.
What's up, good people? You're listening to I Said What I Said with Tucson Warner and Herb Howard live on What's In It for the Black People Media, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m.
The birthday line is, easily, or the birthday bash, whatever you want to call it.
Our hit record.
That's our hit record.
That's our hit record.
That's our one. That's
Right,
my girl.
That's my girl by the Temptations.
Like,
Like, no
if you
matter
don't
where
sing-
we go, we gotta do that.
Ready to go down?
Yes, we are.
Come on, who's on that birthday line?
It's ready, baby.
And how old are you on be.
From WGCI, that's 3 days.
Whole project.
Bill on the show called. It's your birthday. Go. Now you look like I got a question.
Hey, she doing the question.
No more to go. Done with the show called It's Your Birthday. Hey, look at that play.
It took, man.
I'm tired just listening to that.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Biggest threat to Illinois citizens from Washington is health care costs and policies. Senior citizens have their Social Security reduced from Medicaid, and some of our senior citizens live off $3 a week for food allowance. Working families are facing bankruptcy over policy and limit and costs. Drug prices require decisions between food and Medicaid. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson. Vote for me and send me to Washington. God bless.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for Senate 2020.
WIFTVPN. Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio. You're listening to I Said What I Said.
Wait, what did you say?
I said you're listening to I Said What I Said.
I just said that.
I know you just said that.
That's what I just said.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Exactly what he just said.
With Herb Howard and Toussaint Werner.
That's about one of the nicest things you've ever said.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
We are back. We are live from the What's in It for the Black People Media Studios. Mike Love and Diz, Chicago Famous, coming up next 3 to 6 every weekday right here on What's in It for the Black People Media. Make sure y'all stay tuned and catch Mike Love and the Jizz. If you caught their show on Tuesday, you know where I'm coming from. They got pretty wild. If y'all didn't catch that show on Tuesday, just go back to Tuesday and listen to their first hour. Listen to the 3 o'clock hour of Chicago Famous on Tuesday. It was entertaining. Listen, man, we got about 7 minutes here left in the show. I just want to say thank y'all so much, man. As we going through the break, I'm reading through some of the comments, man, and as always, I said what I said, family. You guys are on fire. I absolutely love y'all. I can't even articulate to y'all how much I love y'all. Y'all are absolutely amazing. We so appreciate how y'all always rock with us, how y'all are always engaged, always got comments. Y'all are both intelligent and hilarious at the same time, and y'all pretty goddamn ignorant. Y'all kind of ghetto. Y'all kind of ghetto, which we love it. This is intellectual thuggery at its finest. We thank y'all so much for being a part of the conversation. If you have not done so, share it. If you want to contribute to the show, you can do so one of two ways. You can do so by clicking on the little gold stars in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, or you can cash app us at $Herb Howard. $Herb Howard. If you want to cash app us, you can do that as well. We certainly appreciate any contribution you feel so inclined to give us. We certainly appreciate it. The cash, Devin just asked. The cash app is $Herb Howard. Y'all can send it to there right now, and we will say thank you right now. 2, I don't know, brother. I don't really know how we get to this space where it's just like, okay, here's who I am, right? And I think that's part of the problem. I think a lot of times people don't want to be real with themselves about who the fuck they are, right? Who am I? What do I want? And if once I understand who I am and what it is I want, and I'm completely accepting of myself, then I can put that out and not give a fuck, right?
Knowing who you are in a system that survives on manipulation,
sure,
is a luxury.
It's a challenge,
right? It's a luxury.
I don't know if it's a luxury, but it's a challenge.
It's a luxury. Think about this, right? We come in here and we laugh at the fact that Mays called us intellectual thuggery. Like, we've even adopted this shit kind of as a moniker.
I like the name.
Right? Shit, we started this show off and I had gold fronts in my goddamn mouth. Yeah. Right? But at the same time, man, I own my own business.
Yes.
I own more than one home.
Yes.
My children go to private school.
Yes.
Right? I've been educated at some of the best schools in Chicago.
Yes.
Right? All that shit is put me one step above on the scratch line. You know what I mean? But at the essence, at the core of that, I'm just a nigga from the hundreds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a nigga from the hundreds between 95th and I went to school on the low. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So being this guy has given me the wherewithal to kind of embrace and move through a plethora of worlds, right?
Sure.
You've been able to move through a plethora of worlds too.
Absolutely.
Right? But let's be honest with ourselves right here and right now, right? The vast majority of us who get the opportunity to move up on the echelon only pretend to be operable in the space of upper on the echelon.
Yeah, and that's my least favorite space.
Right? My least favorite too.
Yeah.
But they're not embracing the totality of their own experience because it only makes more sense to invest in the lie of being elite. You understand what I'm saying?
And that's where it's fucking flipped.
So how do you can't know yourself when you're creating an identity based on falsehood, right? That's why I said the facts matter. When you know the numbers, our community really don't even have a fucking elite class. There's no such thing.
Not even real.
It ain't even real. Right? So I always
120K get you in our elite.
I made the comparison between where I live and where my brother-in-law lives. Right? My brother-in-law got damn near $2 million house.
Right.
I'm not living like that.
Right.
Nowhere near it, right?
Right.
But guess what? My son could walk to his fucking house in 5 fucking minutes.
Which means y'all
everything
experience
you
is the same.
experience is the same as everything that my fucking son experiences.
Right.
But in his world, behind the gate of his home, he's something different, right? Or the world sees him as something different.
Nicole says
all of these lies are entangled, and they create again these social norm creates the paradigm in which we operate within the world, and it's the fucking falsehood.
It's bullshit. Nicole Rogers, who is an Is Wiz OG, shout out to Nicole Rogers. Shout out to all the Is Wiz OGs. We appreciate y'all rocking with us from day one. She says, "Great resume too. Can they whoop your ass though? Is the best part."
No,
right? That's what it really boils down
the
to.
wholeness of that journey.
That's what it boils down to.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it boils down to.
I love that you always put it in those perspectives. Like, yeah, I got this. Like that. I've accomplished this. My resume reads like this. But at the end of the day, if I can whoop your ass and take it, it don't really mean shit that you've acquired it. You know what I'm saying? Can you whoop my ass though is the prevailing question. And so I think it becomes imperative that we understand how to flip that narrative that you were speaking of at first, right?
But for me, it's different. It goes into what Mama Love said. It goes into character. All this shit don't mean nothing to me.
I know, but that's
if I got it once, I can get it again.
That's what I'm saying.
What I believe in.
That's what I'm saying. So, and because you stand in that proper polarity of who you are, actually, right? When you walk into those spaces that we were talking about, that it's an absolute privilege to be able to walk into some of these spaces, right? But like I said, and like you said, that's my least favorite aspect of any of my interactions, right? I walk in the fucking board, I walk in this and be like, I gotta go ahead and deal with these motherfuckers, right? Versus I'm in the neighborhood I grew up in. This is where I love to be. This is where I'm most comfortable. This is where I want to walk around and talk to everybody on the street, say what's up, yada, yada, yada. I'll be out there today, too. 5:30 p.m. on 71st and Chappelle. There is... First of all, it's Laquan McDonald's birthday, right? He would have been 23 today, and so we're going to be having a balloon release for him at 71st and Chappelle, and also there's going to be a teach-in about reimagining the FOP budget for Chicago Police Department. 71st and Chappelle. Shout out to Will Calloway for putting that together. Will is absolutely dope. But listen, I'm saying that to say this though too, like I walk into those spaces of relative privilege, and I'm like, listen, they got to deal with me in my blackness, right? Let me come in here and stunt on these motherfuckers. That's what I want to stunt on, right? I'm not trying to go to the hood and stunt on nobody. Them my people. I'm not trying to flex on them, right? I'm trying to go into this fucking exclusive space and flex on these people about who we are and how we move. That's the real thing. We got to understand how to flip that motherfucking thing, be completely comfortable in who we are, and flex on other people as opposed to trying to assume or to trying to pretend that we aren't who we are so that we can flex on our own people. That's bullshit, and it shows up in our relationships every single time. We got about 30 seconds left, brother. Anything else from you?
I know we only got 30 seconds left, but like Herb knows me intimately, right? He knows my family. He knows he's been in my crib, vice versa, right?
Yeah.
But also, I present a certain kind of way. I got braids in my hair, had gold teeth in my motherfucking mouth this morning, right? But none of that exemplifies what I've accomplished in my life.
No.
None of that exemplifies what I understand or know. None of that defines who I am in totality, right? But I have to make concessions, and maybe concessions isn't the right word, but I have to make, even when communicating with people who seemingly aren't on my economic level.
Sure.
Deem themselves to be greater or more important than because some white man empowered them to think so.
Yeah.
Right? I've been in these positions all the time. Yeah. I was telling you about a conversation I had not too long ago, and I said, I know I present a certain way, brother, but don't ever take me for a fool.
Don't get it fucked up. Listen, we got to go. We got to bounce. It is out of time. Coming up next, Chicago famous Mike Love and Diz here with you from 3 to 6 p.m. Thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in. We greatly, greatly appreciate you all choosing to be a part of the conversation. Thank you for your input. As always, it was valued. It is certainly appreciated. Special thanks to Love McPherson and Lamontria Edwards for joining us for Toussaint Warner.
We gotta get Mama Love in studio, man.
We're going to get Mama Love in studio, and we might create a regular segment for Adrian Anderson, who's another Is Wiz OG, asked for it, so we're going to get that set up. Mays, leave me alone. We're going to get the Golden Children in here in just a second. Chicago Famous is coming up next.
Mays is talking shit. Let's
Mays,
stay on.
Mays like, wrap it up. We got to get Chicago Famous in here. Chicago Famous, Chicago Famous, Chicago Famous. Told you 2 weeks ago, fuck them niggas. For Tucson Warner and for Ron Hayes handling all the hard work behind the production studio. My name is Herb Howard. Until next time, y'all be good to each other. We see you Monday at 1 p.m. Peace.
Salam alaikum.
WIIF